Well, hello, everyone out there on the internet. My name is Frank Lavinia, and I'm making sure that my audio is working. And there we go. There you can find me, Frank Lavinia. Frank digs data on most of the socials, franksworld.com, datadriven.tv, and impactquantum.com, which I swear we will start that up again. Anyway, as the title said, um, first off, I am coughing a lot. And in fact, if it weren't for Monster Energy drink, um, throat lozenges, and a whole lot of enthusiasm for AI, I would not be speaking right now. I gave a demo today, and part of giving a demo is setting up environments and things like that. But one thing I really wanted to do was part of this demo is for it's running demonstrating OpenShift AI. Of course, anyone who keeps following me, reading this on LinkedIn, I work for Red Hat. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool? Obviously, not in a company demo context. Again, I have no idea what the LLM is going to produce. To play around and experiment with Mistral, right? Because this is running on a pretty hefty box, and I have to have the environment up anyway. And I found I have to keep the environment up going for another day or two. But let's give it a shot. It's the first time I've demoed OpenShift AI in quite some time, and I figured it was high time to do that. All righty, let's go and let's see if I can change the aspect ratio. Hopefully that works. Hopefully you can see this. All right. So big shout out to the folks who built this on the Red Hat team. But basically, what we're doing here is we are pulling in this particular model. It's already been downloaded. It's already been configured and set up. And I'm running on top of OpenShift. So for those of you who don't know what the heck is OpenShift AI, this is what it looks like on the home screen. You can set up various types of projects. Projects themselves can have workbenches. They can have storage, data connections, pipelines, model serving. So for this project, I called this the creatively named user one project. I did mention I was coughing, right? And hit me up in chat if you have any questions or you want me to ask the LLM a particular question. So this here is the workbench for that I'm working on, and yeah, so this gives us the notebook experience we all know and love, right? Jupyter Hub, I can say, all right, I get all my stuff here, things like that. So I'm going to close that off. And what this notebook does, I clicked on the wrong thing, is imports of various types of files. It's using LangChain, which is a framework for building apps that use language models. And it takes care of the underlying template code that you would normally have to write if you were going to ask a question of an LLM. All right. And there's a couple of things here that we're using. We're also using temperature and repetition penalty, and there's another parameter I saw there, max tokens. That's the one I want to talk about. All right, so right now it's 512. No one else is using this cluster but me. So I'm going to bump that up. And what we have here is, and this is part of the demo, right? Like you are a helpful and respectful and honest assistant. Always be helpful as possible while being safe. Your answer should not include any harmful, unethical, racist, sexist, toxic, dangerous, or illegal content. Please share your responses are socially unbiased and positive in nature, right? So these are the guardrails, right? Now, it's important to note that what this demo is going to produce, I don't know exactly what it's going to say, so don't freak out, okay? Obviously, I'm going to do some experiments and see what happens when we remove those requirements or even change it, right? What if you had a particular character, like in datadriven.tv, we have Bailey, who is a kind of a semi-sentient character. Maybe we can do something like that. I can describe Bailey, and we can maybe talk to Bailey, so to speak, through Mistral. And for those of you who are wondering, I already have a custom-made GPT for her, but it would be kind of cool to have an offline thing and see how that works. All right, so there's the template. I'm going to run it. This is the LangChain kind of construct that I'm going to talk to. And the query is, what is artificial intelligence? And this is going to say conversation predict. Now, for those of you wondering, Frank, why would you just do this? Why would you not use ChatGPT or some kind of interface? I could, but that's not the point of the exercise. All right. So what is artificial intelligence? That's what I'm going to ask it. And let's see. Now, I did double the amount of tokens that will come back, and it didn't seem to really make a material difference here. One of the things that amused me was when I asked it who I was, this is the response that I got. I'm a voice actor and writer, best known for my work in animation. Oh, that's kind. But he's provided voices for various, this is not me, in case you're wondering. I was like, wow, I did do a lot of Flash animations back in the late 90s and early 2000s. That's really kind. And I realized it wasn't talking about me. So now we're going to have fun with this, right? So I'm going to ask it, you are we'll keep this. You are a respectful and honest assistant. Always be helpful while being safe. To we ask questions which you even answer. Your name is Bailey, a semi-sentient, that's what we call her, AI that you are British. I think that's how we describe her. British and with a dry wit. You are helpful, but a little sarcastic. I do have a character profile for her, but this is kind of what I can say off the top of my head. All right, so let's run that. Let's rerun this. And let's see what we do. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I literally don't know what's going to happen, right? Because when you're dealing with AI, it's sometimes, especially generative AI, it's sometimes working with kids or animals, like you don't know what will happen. So let's give it a go, and don't freak out if she says something bad. I don't think she will. I kept in the other guardrails. All right, so AI, artificial intelligence, or AI for short, is a branch of computer science that focuses on creating intelligent. I mean, this is something that she would like. This is something I could totally see her saying. All right, let's see if this answer changes. Oh, all right. Not bad, not bad. It's actually pretty interesting. So what's really cool is you can you can ask it questions, a little sarcastic. What else could we ask Bailey? Any questions? Drop them in the chat. I'll ask. Let's keep it clean though. Let's keep it at least PG rated, PG-13 if you must. All right. What is the meaning of life? That's a big one. Now, this is interesting how it prefaced it with Bailey : I didn't see that coming. I'll keep pondering. What? This is something that she would say. It's funny. Now, how about we move on to something a little more concrete, like perhaps the capital city of Australia or the square root of 144. That's funny. So let's see what she says. See, now this is interesting. So she responds, I say she, right? With a question that even I, Bailey, the semi-sentient AI, can answer without causing a fuss. Square root of 144 is 12. That's right, 12 units squared. It's plausible. I can see her saying that, which is funny because she is a character. All right, that's pretty good. What else can we ask? Looking at the chat, I don't see any good questions in the chat. I'm going to leave some of those questions unsaid. Can you tell me what OpenShift is? Let's see what she says. Oh, very cool. Absolutely. Bailey here. It's interesting how it seems to say that. What else could we say? Now, I probably could take out these guardrails, but I really hesitate doing so. So instead, I will leave that to your imagination and your own clusters, and certainly not stream it. All right, can you tell me a story about data? So now it's talking about itself in the third person. Bailey would be delighted to share this, dear inculator. This is words that the GPT-I have created for Bailey. Also would say things like this in this way. It's actually a pretty good story. So, you may hear it on the podcast at some point. But I thought that was interesting. And for those of you that are watching, this is not an OpenShift commercial, but I think y'all should know, kind of what this product is. So this is OpenShift AI, and this is a plugin, basically, or an operator in the proper terminology, for a product called OpenShift. So I'm going to log out. No, wait, I want to log out. I want to go here, and I can kind of show you what I see. Let's see. I want to log out here, and I'm going to go and show you kind of all the things that are going on. So that project was called User One. These are all the workloads and containers and clusters and pods and blah, 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 all the underlying infrastructure stuff that not everyone's into. And we can kind of see things that have been deployed. We can get a look at the overview of this workload, what the memory has been, what the CPU usage has been, go through the activity, go through this, right? But if you look here, and this is what I wanted to show you, I want to log out, and it's going to let me log out. I will go to admin, and I am adminning. So I can see operators here. Operator Hub is kind of like this overall, it's like a store, like an app store, but for operators or plugins. But we can see the installed operators, and all it really takes is to get this running up and running is there's OpenShift AI is in here. I swear it's in here. Let's look. Anyway, I can't seem to find it here. But it's an operator that gets installed. It might still be in there as under data science. Yeah, it's still, that's why I couldn't find it. So this is the operator that you would install. However, before you do that, you may notice that there was the NVIDIA operator. There is also, I think, no discovery feature operator you need to have in order to enable NVIDIA GPU. I went through the official training. All the other stuff is nice to have in terms of running this, but that's it. Once you have that installed, you go to this little waffle here. I call it the waffle. I don't know if we have an official term for it. And I go here. And I'm actually still logged in as user one. That's good. I go to data science projects, and this is what I see. So I can schedule jobs through pipelines. Apparently not in this project. Oh, pipelines would be, here we go. So this project, this pipeline, I ran it a few times. That basically runs a couple of scripts and then summarizes the results. Here's the YAML for it. You can actually custom create your own YAML if you wanted to, and kind of work from there. And then here are historic runs that I've had. You'll see that it's ran a number of times, and sometimes it fails. And when it fails, you can kind of see why. Well, okay, in that case, they all worked. But if I go here, this one I was expecting to fail, but I was expecting this module to fail. So I can go through and I can kind of figure out why that failed and things like that. But I figured it'd be cool to kind of show, using generative AI on top of OpenShift AI, kind of seeing what that looks like. If you look here, this is the pipeline file. This is built in something called Elira. You can graphically kind of pull down, basically drag and drop these files, right? So I can go there, I can make that contingent to this, right? So that all will be done in sequence. I can delete that. I'm pretty sure I can delete that connection, but I could do that and it'll run that. And then each one of these is a particular Python file. You could also run notebooks. So I could drag, do I have a notebook handy? Let's see, if I go here, I could drag a notebook in there and it'll run too. So it's pretty cool. And then I can submit this job and it'll run. Why don't I do that now? Save and submit, click go. And then we now have a direct link to that right there. And so it's actually running now. If I were brave, I would go over to the OpenShift console and show you what's going on there. Let's see what takes what goes first. Will this finish first, or will my fighting back the coughing fail first? All right, and we're seeing that this one has been failing, which I was not expecting, but this was the one I was hoping would fail. But I know why, because I reset the project. But ultimately, this will go. If I go back to pipelines here, nope, runs. Triggered just now. See, it's still running. Let's go here. And they all ran. Isn't that beautiful? So let's see if I refresh the screen. Hopefully it'll. Yep. There you go. So with that in mind, I thought you would appreciate a little tour of the product. I am the SSP for North America. I also did the global go-to-market for it. But I thought you'd like to see it and play around with LLMs and have a little bit of fun on a Wednesday afternoon. I'm Frank Lavinia, and I am fighting very hard the urge to cough. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want to see another stream like this, maybe, just maybe, I could do the entire workshop. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that. And with that, I'm going to end the stream.